What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an automated email responder by creating a simple workflow in N8N. Let's get started. In N8N, I've created a workflow that I've renamed to automated email responder. So here, we're going to add a trigger. The trigger, we're going to capture the emails that we're going to receive from clients or prospects. So here, I'll search for Gmail. Then in Gmail, I'm going to click on message received trigger. Here, you'll need to create a credential by clicking on create new credential right here. Then sign in with your Google account, and on the new window that pops up, choose the account that you'd like to connect to N8N. Then after choosing the account, your connection will be created. Since I had already created my credential, I'm going to close this and choose my credential right here. For the mode here, you can choose when you like to trigger this node. So you can trigger it after every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, or customize the mode right here. I'm going to choose every minute, and the event is on message received. So here, I'll click on fetch event to fetch an email from my inbox. Now here, you can see it's listening for an event. Now I can decide to send myself this example email with the subject line, urgent, client contract at risk. Luxe Automation team, we just received a word from a client that unless we finalize the contract by 4 p.m., they'll move forward with another vendor. Can someone please step in immediately to wrap this up? Thanks, Jonathan. So here, click on send. Okay, we're going to capture the email that we just sent to ourselves right here. See, we captured our email out here. So here, I'll turn this to off and fetch test again. So here you can see that our workflow finished executing right here, and we captured our email here. So we captured the email in HTML format, text format, and text as HTML format. So we're capturing the subject line and who sent the email and to who right here. So now that we're capturing our email, we can use this as our example to set up our automated email responder. So here, I'll pin this. So we can use the email that we just sent ourselves to set up the workflow. So here, the next thing we can do here is we can wait a few seconds before we, let's say 5 seconds. So here I'll click on back to canvas and rename this to wait 5 seconds. And click on rename. Then after we've waited a few seconds here, so now I open this node, I'll click on execute step. You can see that our node was executed successfully and we're getting our email right here. So now with our email over here, so this is our email body, we can go ahead and use AI to classify the email. So here, to classify the email, I'm going to search for a classifier, text classifier. Then here, click on the text classifier. Here, I'll rename this to email classifier instead of text. And here, we're going to add the body of the email. It should be this body right here. So these are tags that we like to classify. So, and here, we're going to add categories. We're going to add 4 different categories, but you can choose to add more categories if you want. I'm going to add the high priority category, customer support category, promotion category, and billing or finance category. So let me go ahead and do that. So in our email classifier node, yeah, the first category we're going to add is a high priority category. And then in this category, we'd like to classify an email as high priority if it meets the following criteria: if it's sent by a client or decision maker, if it contains urgent or time-sensitive content, if it mentions deadlines, escalations, or immediate actions, and lastly, if the email includes urgency keywords such as urgent, ASAP, immediate, deadline, action required, and high priority. So that was for the high priority category. The other category is the customer support category, where here we add in the description as classify an email as customer support if it meets the following criteria: if the email is sent by an existing client or customer, if the email includes a service request, inquiry, complaint, or follow-up, if the email references a support issue, ticket, or product or service interaction, and if the email contains keywords like request, inquiry, support, question, follow-up, or feedback. So that is the customer support category. The other category is the promotions category, where the description of this category is on the lines of classify an email as promotions if it meets the following criteria: if the email contains marketing or sales-oriented content, if the email promotes a product, service, event, or campaign, if the email aims to inform, attract, or engage the audience, and lastly, if the email includes keywords like newsletter, promotion, offer, sale, campaign, marketing, or launch. And lastly, if the email includes keywords like newsletter, promotion, offer, sale, campaign, marketing, or launch. So that is the promotion category. And the last category is the billing or finance category, where the description of this category is on the lines of classify an email as billing or finance if it meets the following criteria. If the email involves a financial transaction, record or request. If the email mentions invoices, payments, receipts, or expense tracking. If the email is related to billing cycles, action balances, or cost documentation. And lastly, if the email contains keywords such as invoice, payment, billing, receipt, financial, expense, or account. And then here, click on back to Canvas. And then here, the last thing that we're going to do here is we're going to add a system prompt template. Just leave it to that. And then click on back to Canvas over here. And then here, we're going to add a model. I'm going to choose the OpenAI chat model. Here, you need to create a credential to connect your OpenAI to anytime by clicking on create a credential. Then here, from your OpenAI API, add your API key over here. Then click on save to create your credential. Since I had already created my credential, I'm going to choose my credential here and then choose the model. The model I'm going to choose GPT 4.1 mini. Then here I'm going to click on back to Canvas over here. Now using the email that we pinned over here, we can try to classify it. So to classify it, I'm going to click on execute workflow to classify the email. You can see our workflow was executed successfully. So now when I open this node, you can see our email was classified in the high priority branch. This is the email that is being classified by our node. So our node is working perfectly. You can proceed to add a label to our email. So to add a label here, I'm going to search for Gmail. Click on Gmail. Then here, add label to message. And then here, we're going to add a label for the message ID. I'm going to drag the message ID right here. And then here, I'll find the label. So for the high priority emails, so like them to go to the high priority label in our inbox. And here, I'll rename this to high priority label. Then here, I'm going to click on rename. Now, with our email, we like to generate a summary of the email. We can send it to ourselves or the team via Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, or email. So here, I'll use an AI agent to generate a summary of the email. So here, I'll click on AI agent. And then here, I'll execute previous nodes so we can get the data right here. And then now here, I'll define below. And then here, we're going to add a prompt for this agent. Now the prompt of this agent could be on the lines of you're an agent in charge of high priority emails. Then here I'll add an option and add a system message. Here I'll click on expression and expand right here. So now the system message. The message could be on the lines of your task is to read the following incoming email and generate a concise, high priority summary that can be forwarded to the appropriate recipient for immediate attention. Focus only on the urgent matters, deadlines, or escalated issues. And here you can add the email. So here we can add who the email is from. And can add the email contents here. Then we're telling the AI to write a short, professional summary addressed to the recipient, emphasizing the urgency. Output only the results in the following JSON output. Here I would like to output only the email response in this JSON output. Do not include any explanation or additional formatting, only output the JSON. And here I'll click on back to Canvas. Here, and we can add a chat model. I'm going to use AI, chat OpenAI. So here, you can connect it right here to this model right here. Okay, so here, I rename this to high priority AI agents. Then click on rename. And then here, I'll open this node. We can execute this step to see if we're going to generate our summary. We can edit this prompt. Just here, I remove this JSON right here. So here, we like to output only the summary. So I'll edit our prompt. So I'll edit our prompt until the AI to output only the summary, no additional text or any additional information, and then click on execute step to output our summary. So you can see we're putting our summary over here. This is really nice. Here in this node, we can proceed to send ourselves the summary either via email, Telegram, WhatsApp, or Slack. So yeah, I'll just use Gmail. So on Gmail, I'm going to send a message. And this message we're going to send to a member of our team. Here. can just add high priority as a subject line. I'm going to choose tags. For the message, we're going to drag the output right here, and then we can send ourselves this message via email. We can choose any software like Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, or any other tool that you use to communicate with your team. So here, I rename this to high priority summary. And then here I'll click on rename. Then I'll save this workflow. So now our high priority workflow works perfectly. Let us try to set up the customer support workflow. To do that, here I'll unpin this email, since the email we have over here was for the high priority. And then I'll open this node. Then here, then I'll send myself this email. Subject line question about my account access. Hello, Luxe Automation. I'm having trouble logging into my account. Every time I try, it says my password is incorrect, even after a reset. Could someone please help me regain access? So we can send ourselves this email. Click on send an email. You can see our node was executed successfully, and we captured our email right here with the subject line, and this is a body of our email. So here I'll click on back to Converse, then here can pin this. Then here we can execute our workflow and see if we're going to classify our email as customer support. So when I open this node, we can see that our email was classified as customer support over here. This is awesome. So here, the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to add a label to our email. So here, I'll search for Gmail. Then on Gmail, I'm going to add label to message. Here, I'm going to choose my credential. Then message ID, it's going to be this ID right here. And then for the label, I'm going to search for customer support. And then click on back to Converse right here. Here, I rename this to customer support label. Then click on rename over here. And now the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to set up an AI agent that's going to respond to clients or prospects. So here, I'll duplicate this AI agent here. And then here we can rename this to customer support AI agent. And then click on rename. Here, I'll open this node. So here I'll click on execute previous nodes to get our data. And then here, I'll clear the system message. The prompt of this agent could be the lines of you're a customer support representative named Tom. And then here you can add the system message and add the prompt right here. And then here, the system message could be in the lines of you're a customer support agent for Luxe Automation. The job is to respond to customer inquiries in a friendly, helpful, and professional manner. Always aim to provide clear answers, address concerns, and maintain a warm, empathetic tone. And here we're going to add where the email is from, who the email is from. Right here. So the email is from this sender. And then here we're going to drag the email content right here. We're telling the agent it's important output only the reply, no additional text or information, and always sign off as Tom from Luxe Automation. So here I'll click on back to Converse and execute our AI agent. Oh, here you can see our chat model node must be connected and enabled. So here, since we're going to use OpenAI, I'm going to drag it right here. So here, for organizing it, for chat model right here, I'm also going to choose OpenAI chat model. Here, I'm going to choose GPT 4.1 as our chat model. Then you can rename this to customer support chat model. Here I'll click on rename. And then here, when I open this node, we can now execute steps to generate our summary, to generate our response. So here you can see we generated this response right here. It's incredible, an incredible response. Hey Amy, thank you for reaching out. I'm sorry to hear that you're having trouble logging into your account since you've already tried resetting your password. Let's try a couple of things. Please ensure entering your password. Wow, this is incredible. Clear your browser, cache, and cookies. Or try logging in using a different browser. If autofill is enabled, try typing in your password manually. And if all these steps do not work, I'm happy to assist you further. Looking forward to getting back our account. Best, Tom from Luxe. That is an amazing response. I love it. Here, we can choose now to reply to Amy. So here, I'll search for Gmail. So in Gmail, here, we're going to reply to a message. And the ID of the message is this message right here. So We're going to grab the ID right here. Email type will be text, and then for the message I'm going to add our reply here. So when I click on execute step, you can see we are sending the response to Amy using this node. So here I renamed this to customer support response, and here I'm going to click on rename. That's awesome. When I open our email, you can see the email that we sent right here, and you can see the response that we sent to our client over here using our workflow over here. So now let's set up the promotions workflow. Now to set up the promotions workflow, I'll unpin this node, then I'll open this node right here, and then we can send ourselves a promotion email. This could be the promotion email that we're sending to ourselves right here. With the subject line, automate your client workflows, save time this month. Then the email body could be on the lines of hi there. Are you spending hours every week manually following up with leads or onboarding clients? With the Luxe Automation's new workflow starter kit, you can automate clients' emails, get instant task reminders, and track leads without lifting a finger. We're offering 20% off this month, only for new signups. Click here to book a free 15-minute demo and see how it works. Let's get your time back, Maggie. So here I'll click on send email. Then here I'm going to click on fetch test events. And you can see that our node was executed successfully, and we're capturing our email right here in HTML format, text format, and text as HTML format. So I'll click on back to canvas, and then here I'll pin this email data, and then I'll click on execute to workflow to see if it's going to be classified as promotions. So here our node was successfully executed, and you can see that our email is being classified as in the promotions branch. So I'll click on back to canvas, and then here we're going to first of all add a label to this email. So in Gmail, I'm going to add label to message. Here the message ID with this ID right here. Then here I'm going to find our label. Choose category promotions as our label. And here I'm going to click on back to canvas. And here I'll rename this to promotions label. Then here I'll click on rename. Now the next thing that we can do here is we're going to duplicate these AI agents to respond to the email. So here I'll connect this right here. So I'll connect this to this node right here. Here I'll rename this to promotions AI agent and click on rename. And then here I'll add a chart model, should be the OpenAI chart model right here. Here I'll rename this to promotions chart model, then click on rename. Then here I'll open this node, add a prompt for this node right here. So I'll click on execute previous nodes to get the data right here. The prompt for this AI agent could be on the lines of, you're a promotions agent at Luxe Automation in charge of promotional opportunities. Yeah, let's expand this right here and add a system message. The system message could be on the lines of, your job is to respond to promotional inquiries in a friendly, engaging, and professional tone. Provide clear, helpful information, highlight the value of our offerings when relevant. And here we're going to add the details of our email. So here you can add who the email is from. The email is from this user right here. Can add who the email is from and the email content. The content I'm going to drag it over here. Apply directly to the user. Output only the email response. Sign off as Maggie from Luxe, and do not output any explanation or formatting, just text of the email reply. So here I'll click on back to canvas and execute our workflow, our node right here. So here you can see we generated a very incredible reply using our promotions AI agent here. So the reply could be on the lines of, hi Dennis, thanks for reaching out and sharing your workflow starter kit. It sounds like a fantastic tool to help businesses save time and streamline their processes. At Luxe, we're always excited to connect with solutions that empower our clients and enhance productivity. I'd love to explore potential collaboration or promotion or opportunities that could benefit both of our audiences. Please let me know a good time to discuss further. Looking forward to connecting. Best regards, Maggie from Luxe. So that's the promotion AI agent generating for us an incredible response to our promotional email that we got in our inbox. So now here we can send the reply via email. So here I'll search for Gmail, then click on Gmail, and here I'll click on reply to a message node. Here we're going to add our message ID. It should be this ID right here. And then the type, we're going to add the text and add the message right here. And then here I'll click on back to canvas. Then here we can execute this node right here. You can see our node was executed, and now we send the response to our sender. So here I'll rename this to promotion response, promotions response. Then here I'll click on rename. I open my email. So this is the email that we sent over here. And this is the response that we're sending to them over here. The one that we generated using our workflow over here. Now the last one that we're going to set up is the billing or finance workflow. Now to set up the billing or finances workflow, here I'll unpin this, and then here we're going to send ourselves a billing or finances email. The email subject line could be in the lines of request for May 2024 invoice for accounting records, and the email body could be in the lines of dear finance team, we are currently finalizing our monthly reconciliations and notice the invoice for May 2024 is missing from our files. Please resend the invoice at your earliest convenience, as we need it for our payment processing and internal audit documentation. Ensure it includes the full breakdown, due date, and reference number. As Jordan. So here I'll send ourselves this email, and then here I'll open this node, and then here I'll click on fetch test event to fetch our email. So here you can see that our node was executed successfully, and here we're getting our email in HTML, text, and text as HTML format. So here I'll click on back to Canvas, and then here I'll pin this email, and then I'll execute our workflow to see if our email is going to be classified as in the billing or finances branch. You can see that our workflow was executed successfully. So when I open this node, our email was classified in the billing and finance branch. That's awesome. So now let's proceed to set up this workflow. So yeah, we're going to first of all add a label. So I'll search for Gmail, click on Gmail, and then here I'll add label to message. Here I'll add our message ID, which will be this ID right here. And then here I'll add a label. The label will be finances. Then here I'll click on back to Canvas. So now here I'll rename this node to finances label. Finances labels, and click on rename. Now here we're going to duplicate this agent so we can respond to the email that is classified as finances or billing or finances. So here I'll rename this to billing AI agent, billing stroke finances AI agent. Then here I'll click on rename. Here we're going to add a chat model, which will be OpenAI. Model, I'm going to choose GPT 4.1 here. So here we can rename this to finances or billing chat model, and here I'll click on rename. And then we can go ahead and add prompts to our agent. So here I'll execute previous nodes. Then the prompt for this agent could be in the lines of you're a finance representative at Luxe Automation. Here I'll expand this system message, and then we can clear the message right here and add a system message for billing and finances AI agent, telling the agent your role is to respond to finance related inquiries such as invoices, payments, receipts, or account questions in a friendly, professional, and accurate manner. Then here we're going to add who the email is from. So the email is from the sender, and here we're going to add our email content in the text format right here. Then here we are outlining some instructions that we would like the agent to follow. We're telling the agent to generate a direct reply to the sender, respond clearly and helpful to their financial inquiry, only output the email response, and always sign off as Angela from Luxe Automation. We have to click on back to Canvas, and then here I'll execute step to generate a response to the sender, to generate a response. So here you can see our node was executed successfully, and here you can see we're generating these response over here. We're telling the sender, thank you for reaching out. I've located the invoice and have attached this email. The invoice includes the full breakdown, due date, and reference number as requested. Please let me know if you need further information. Best regards, Angela. So here I'll click on back to Canvas, and we can send the response now to our sender via Gmail. So I'll search for Gmail, click on Gmail, and here I'm going to reply to a message. So I'll click on the node. Here we're going to add our message ID, which is this ID right here. And then for the email type, I'm going to choose text, and then add the message over here. And then here I'll execute step to send the reply to the sender. here, so we can see we send our email response. So in here, I rename this to finances response. And then here, I'll click on rename. We open our email that we sent to ourselves right here. You can see the response that we generated using our workflow. This is incredible. Now our workflow works perfectly. So here we are triggering our workflow after we receive an email for a client or a customer. Then we're waiting for a few seconds and then classifying the email either as high priority, customer support, promotions, or billing finances. And here we are adding a label to the email. Then we're using an AI agent to generate a response to our customer or client. And then we are sending the response to our client or customers using Gmail here. So for formatting purposes, I just remove the chat models of our AI agents and added the chat models right here. Now to test our workflow, here, I'll unpin this email, and then here, I'll open this node. I'll send myself an example email and send ourselves a customer support email, similar to the one that we sent ourselves earlier on, chosen by Amy. So this is a customer support email where Amy is asking for help to log into her account. So here, I'll send the email, and then here, I'm going to click on fetch test event to fetch the email that we just sent. So here you can see that our node was executed successfully, and here we're getting the email in HTML, text, and text as HTML format. So you'll click on back to converse, and then now to execute our workflow and see how the workflow works, I'll click on execute workflow. So here you can see that it was executed successfully. Here we captured our email that we sent right here, which was a customer support email. Then we waited for a few seconds, and using our email classifier node, we classify the email as customer support. Then we added a label to the email. Then using our AI agent, we generated a response to the email, which is this incredible response that was generated using our AI agent. And then we send the response to our sender via Gmail. So now here you can see the response that we sent to our sender, who's Amy, trying to help them log in back into their account right here. So our workflow works perfectly. So now if we receive an email that's a high priority email, we're going to wait a few seconds, and then we're going to classify the email as high priority. Then we're going to add a label to the email. Then using our AI agent, we're going to generate a summary of the email. Then we're going to send the summary to a team member or to yourself via email, Slack, WhatsApp, or Telegram for the team or yourself to act urgently. Then if you receive an email that's a promotions email, we're going to wait a few seconds, and then using our node right here, we're going to classify the email as promotions. Then we're going to add a label to the email, and then using our AI agent, we're going to generate a response. We're going to send the sender the response via email. Same case happens when we receive an email that's a billing or a finance email. We're going to wait a few seconds, then classify the email as billing or finances. Then we're going to add a label to the email. Then using our AI agent, we're going to generate a response. Then we're going to send the sender via email. Okay, so our workflow works perfectly. Thank you for watching. Now, if you have a workflow or an AI agent that you'd like for me to create using any 10, just comment down below in the comment section. I read all the comments, and if I land on your comment and I find it intriguing, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to create the entire workflow or AI agent from scratch using any 10. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.